for the money, yeah, 2 for the show. I love Shot City, yeah, I'm reppin' to go. You can catch me on the low with Pam G. Niggas say they got it locked, she the key. Number less, that's the crew, ain't nothing telling me. Yeah, I'm killing these rappers, felony. So this our production is nothing. You louder than us, stop frontin'. You mumble rappers ain't saying nothing. Really, you ain't saying nothing. Cause lyrically, this is therapy. Flow tougher than leather. Run DMC, becoming my beat. Nigga, I'm a prodigy. And to all you rappers, my apology. And if you don't know, now you know. Hello with Pam G.
That's what I'm talking about. Below Pam G. southsideradio.live. WSSR Radio. Please believe. Hey, what's cracking? You know what today is. It's time for the low, baby. Got a hot show for you guys today. A lot of new music. I had a chance to catch up with one of my buddies from back in the day, Miss Fatimah, as I used to call her, Fatimah. She now lives in LA and she's a comedian now. We're going to catch up with her in a little bit. But for right now, we're going to get into this ooh-wee by Talk It Out. Let's go, Talk. Happy World Stand Up. WSSR, southsideradio.live.
Pocket full of hundreds, but ain't got nowhere to go. It's the weekend, time for action. Let's get it cracking for sure. We came to see a show, got plenty money to throw. Toss it up, she toss it back. Fuck, make it rain, we make it snow. Speed it up, then twerk it slow.
Twerk it slow.
Pick it up, and drop it low.
Drop it low.
Whole club out of control. These bitches thicker than wool. I ain't come for conversation. Get your ass up on that pole. I'ma toss a couple bands. She popping it on her hands. Gonna do that shit you do when they viewing your OnlyFans. Make it clap live. Yeah, give it a smack live. Yeah. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. Nothing but a party, we sippin' and actin' naughty. Don't ask if I need change. No, I'ma throw it all. Soon as they play this song, they coming out of them thongs. Piercings and tattoos, yeah, they gon' show it all. It's something out of movie, nothing but southern booty. Juicy breasts and thighs, you think I ordered a two-piece. Excuse me, bartender, I need a drink. It's bustin' in this bitch. They tryna break the bank. I'ma toss a couple bands. She poppin' it on her hands. Go and do that shit you do when they viewin' your OnlyFans. Make it clap live. Yeah, give it a smack live. Yeah. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. Thick strippers, big tippers, rich niggas. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home.
The Low
with Pam G.
Tryna count me a million. Tryna invest in the business. Then get
That was Musa Man with Miles Away. southsideradio.live. WSSR. I'm your girl, Pam G. And this is The Low. I got my girl, Fatimah, on the line right now. What's good with you, baby?
I'm incredible. I mean, it's been a fun ass year. You know, quarantine, hit a lot of people hard, and it's been very difficult for all of us, but this was such a good year for me so far, believe it or not.
Oh, it's been a blessing.
How are you?
Man, I'm blessed and highly flavored.
I saw you got married. She's beautiful.
It's been
Tell her that dress was rocking.
I would definitely tell her that. Man,
I love her whole steams.
Yeah. That's my little model, baby. That's my
I
love.
know
the
she's
love of my
beautiful.
life. Yes, Lord, she is. That's
you looked very happy. I told Ron, I sent him, I was like, she looks so happy. Yeah. I can't wait to talk to her.
It's been a while, baby girl.
It has. I mean, how many years has it been?
Man, we're gonna it's been a couple of them because I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know Manny for 10 plus years now, and so
how is he doing?
Man, he just left from over here. You know, he got a podcast that airs on Thursday on southsideradio.live.
Okay, I did see him on there, and I saw Marcus.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You got to tell everybody I said hello. Oh my
definitely will. When they hear this recording, they'll hear you say hello.
I literally told Ron. I know if you remember him too. We're still
Ignorant.
cool.
I remember Ignorant.
Yes, and I was
I'm gonna reach out to him next. He on my list. I got a list of people that I want to contact. Oh my God,
you totally have to do him.
Yeah, because he's doing big things.
Studio.
Yes, that's what I did. You know, quarantine gave me Southside Radio, so I mean,
hasn't it been great for everyone?
I'm not even mad about it, man.
Same.
It made me go back to my craft because for a long time I was getting off of it, and I was just doing, the food management things and doing catering stuff, and I finally was just like, you know what? I can't do none of that shit now.
Yeah.
I go, what am I going to do?
You know what? That's why I'm saying so many people were like, 2020 was such a bad year and this was horrible. Yes, the disease was horrible. Yes, this really knocked us all on our asses. But I think this was a wake up call for a lot of people, whether it was your career or it was personal life. And for me, it was career and personal life.
Definitely.
Like I live in LA and everything is so fast paced and so superficial and there's go and stuff is going on all the time that quarantine.
How you liking that though?
I mean, being a city girl in Chicago, you adapt fast. We're born, with the hustle coming from there.
Definitely. I would think it's stronger because it's warmer out there. So you just out there just going in hard though.
You know what? I will say this. I don't know how it is for everybody, but I think for most people that I meet out here that are from Chicago, our hustle is unmatched.
Okay.
Our hustle is unmatched due to the fact that it is nice weather here and it's easygoing. A lot of people move here and get caught up in that.
Oh, okay.
They get caught up in this party life and the beautiful women and the good looking guys and the hot cars and the good weather and the beaches. And they forget that they moved here, for whatever particular reason that is. And I've been here 10 years now and
stop. I have not known you that long. You have not been out there 10 years. It feels like it was just yesterday you was talking about good old fashioned starving and eating fries.
I use that too. I still use good old fashioned starving, honey.
We remember that, G, because you was always funny. We used to always laugh at y'all.
Thank you. And that's funny because when I left Chicago, I left because I was like, okay, modeling was kind of like, that's not a long road for that career. And I was like, okay, I want to get into acting. And I left Chicago and I was SAG eligible. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come here. Girl, who knew that I was going to fall into this? Because it was never an aspiration. Stand-up comedy was not the plan.
But it's so fitting. It's so fitting for you.
I mean, it's one of those things where, you hear people say it all the time, but you don't necessarily always see it. What's meant to be is meant to be. And that just was meant to be. And the way that the story unfolded for me was like, that was just my calling. I just needed to get what I usually tell people. It was, I was knocked out of my comfort zone, which was Chicago.
Okay.
Being in Chicago was my comfort zone. You're around your family and your friends and you're around comfort. And when I got here, I wasn't with anyone. So I had nothing but myself. And that took a lot of self-discovery, and which led me to discovering that I had an ability that I wasn't necessarily using.
I'm amazed that you didn't know that you had that ability. Because, like, in
I guess
retrospect,
because
with you being around, and like, I always remember people in the past out laughing at you. Like, did you hear what that girl just said? She on that G.
I was friends with comedians from home, but I always looked at what they did as like really hard and scary. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going on the stage by myself. And I didn't really understand the concept. It's really silly. I got here and, like everyone does, you take acting classes and, you do background work and shit. And I took this improv class when I got here called Upright Citizens Brigade.
Okay.
And my agent at the time was like, oh, you should take an improv class. It looks really great on your resume and it'll help you book commercials. So I did it, for, knowledge as far as like booking and for my resume to look good. And I ended up taking it. And then the instructor I had at the time, I can't remember his name, but when I was in the class, he was like, yo, you're hella funny. And I don't think you realize it. Yeah. And I was like, looking at him kind of like, yeah, I'm funny to my friends, but I don't think I'm like a comedian. He was like, no, the way you tell stories, you have no idea. And I'm like, I kept on going back and forth with him being like, yeah, I'm funny to my homies, but I don't think going on stage is the same thing. And he was like, well, you should try it. And then he gave me like a list of open mics here in LA. Okay. And for months I didn't go because I was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. And so I was working as a server, as we always do, pursuing this. So I was working as a server and I was getting tired of it, like you were saying. Like, I was getting tired of that shit. And I found a lot of jokes with working in the restaurant biz. So I was always talking shit at work here in LA, like I would do back at home. And for a while, I started writing some of the shit down, like on the receipts from, the little, how people would use the receipts as their paper to take the orders. So I had a bunch of those in my apron with like different topics and things that I thought that was funny about working in restaurants. And I kept telling myself, okay, one day let's just go and see what happens. So at the time I had moved here with my ex-fiance and he went to work and I was like, okay, I'm going to put on a hoodie. I'm going to take my ass to this open mic and read these jokes off this paper and see what happens. And so I did. I went to this place way out in Glendale, California. It was this Indian restaurant called Indian Flavors. Okay. And it was just a bunch of people in there having, Indian dinners and whatever. And they had like a stage. I guess they had like live entertainment in between dinner. All right. So I do it and I'm not taking it serious whatsoever. I'm just literally reading off the paper and people were dying. People were dying. Like they were hella engaged to the point where when I got off the stage, I was a little shocked because I was like, okay, I guess I did it right. And then the manager of that restaurant was like, hey, are you available? Like he was booking me and I was looking at him like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? He's like, are you available on this date? And I'm just like, well, I work that night. I'm a server. And I'm like, so I can't, be here. He's like, well, whenever you're free, just come on back. Everyone loved you. So from that point on, I just kept going to open mics and the love was good. And I just kept working hard and kept writing and then going to open mics and people really, being very like receptive to what I was saying. So it was like people was really messing with me and it was wild. And shortly after that, it was like it was meant to be because someone told me I had met someone at an open mic and they were like, oh, in order to book real shows, like at the Comedy Store and the Hollywood Improv, all the popular clubs, they were like, you need to have yourself on tape, doing stand up from at least 5 to 10 minutes. It was like, here's a club that tapes it. Right. So I called this club and I'm like, hey, my friend recommended me to come here and do a set so you guys can film it for me so I can get booked. And they were like, oh, well, it's Christmas time. So, we're not doing any of the tapings right now, but just hit us up after the new year. Right. Okay. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I hang up and I'm like, all right, well, that's in the bag, but let me just keep going to open mics. Girl, I get a call randomly from that same club. And they were like, hey, we're looking for comics to open up for, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm terrible with names, but some guy from Comedy Central. And they're like, we were wondering if you're available to open for him on New Year's Eve. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't even know how this lady knows me or who is this, but it was one of those situations where you like, do you say no or do you just take it?
You automatically take it.
So I just took it, but I've never had a professional gig before. What I ended up finding out was when I called in that day, somehow my email address that I gave the lady to do my video fell into a bucket of opening comics.
Oh, that's love.
And so
that's the universe on your side.
Right.
The universe said she about to get this.
So that was my first paid professional show. It was on New Year's Eve, I think 2013.
Okay, that's what's
and up. I rocked.
Definitely.
And after that was the story, honey. I started booking, and that eventually led to me being an intern at CBS. And then after I interned as a writer at a bigger network, the doors open pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's like you just kicked in the doors. Hey, but we're going to get to the rest of that story in 1 minute. southsideradio.live. This is the Lofa Show. This is Fatimah I got on the phone with me, y'all. Y'all remember this name. southsideradio.live. We'll be right back.
Where we at with it? To the top we going. All my niggas they rollin'. 3-5 in the wood, that's stogie. All of my niggas that came from the hood, what they tell you that you cannot make it, how you feel this? I know how life is, but we gon' stay focused on millions. If you came up robbing and stealing, they sweat that you cannot change for the better. I know that you can, so we gon' step no matter the weather. Big blocks, they spark forever. Big shots, we fall forever. Been down, but we stay together. I know that shit get better. Been through it, it felt like failure. Been broke, now I got some cheddar. See my OG breaking down and it broke. My pain barriers 147 Sibley Boulevard. Been my home forever. I got faith in myself. I know I'm gon' die a legend. I bet on me, I bet on me, I bet on me. This vision I have been clear as day. I swear it's all I see. And I know my big brother's so proud watching over me. And I know my poppy up above praying with his soul to keep telling me just keep going. You almost there, you gon' succeed. Paper chasing, speed racing, it's a whole world to see. And I got plans to be the best artist I'm supposed to be. Hustle hard for my niggas that couldn't make this day with me. Long live all the hood legends of the land, y'all made history. We gon' ball if we fall, get back up, ain't no mystery. Long live free band, Wabin, Moon, Rio, all the hood things. Sibley ain't the same no more, ain't buzzing like it used. So yeah, with it, to the top we going. All my niggas they rollin'. 3-5 in the wood, that's stogie. All of my niggas that came from the hood, what they tell you that you cannot make it, how you feel this? I know how life is, but we gon' stay focused on millions. If you came up robbing and stealing, they sweat that you cannot change for the better. I know that you can, so we gon' step no matter the weather. Big blocks, they spark forever. Big shots, we fall forever. Been down, but we stay together. I know that shit get better. Been through it, it felt like failure. Been broke, now I got some cheddar. See my OG breaking down and it broke. My pain barriers 147 Sibley Boulevard. Been my home forever. I got faith in myself. I know I'm gon' die a legend. I bet on me, I bet on me, I bet on me. This vision I have been clear as day. I swear that's all I see. And I swear it's all I see. And I swear it's all I see. Bound is how it's supposed to be. How it's supposed to be. Bound. And I swear it's all I need.
Yeah, they don't wanna see me win. They don't wanna see me shine. I'm on my grind. Niggas really tryna waste my fucking time. I'm about this perk. I'm really tryna go and blow that iron. Look at all my diamonds. They be shining like some open blinds. Yeah, and niggas listen, but they do not hear me. Yeah, she just fucking with the cash, so get that hoe from near me. And I'm up on my own road, and ain't no hoe can steer me. It's Warren's belly, nigga, no we don't. It's okay if anything just comes my way, it's safe to say. Put it in a safe department, man, just lock it, put the key away. Niggas think that they ballin', they ain't ballin', I'm hard in the court today. Must be a system in every way. Put them in a coffin, put them in a grave. Yeah, man, I've been trying to get this dough. I mean, I already have enough, but yeah, it's time to get some more. Got it goes, go for anything you niggas wanna throw. Nerdy flow, got that chocolate flow, just call me Naruto. Little bitch, yeah, making big moves, making big moves, you can't do what I do, get up the room, nigga be sleeping on me, man, it's snooze, you gonna lose, up in the game, but I know you gon' lose, I got them shoes, off of them shoes, I'm up in the booth, yeah, they wanna be me, they cannot be like me, look at my diamonds, that shit be so icy, she had my phone, but that bitch gotta type me, if I was locked on, then you bitch, you would write me, I'm gonna shoot it like motherfucking Spike Lee, I got your girl and she won't be my wifey, yeah, she call me daddy, I'm gonna flip the bitch up like a patty, they don't wanna see me win, they don't wanna see me shine, I'm on my grind, niggas really tryna waste my fucking time, I'm about this perk, I'm really tryna go and blow that iron, look at all my diamonds, they be shining like some open blinds, yeah, and niggas listen but they do not hear me, she just fucking with the cash, so get that hoe from near me, and I'm up on my own road and ain't no hoe can steer me, it's Warren's Valley, nigga, know we going, I'ma go and do the dash, chopper give you heart attack, I be smoking on that pack, yeah, I beat the fucking gas, got a bad bitch named Sheila, she turn me up on the speaker, I give her fever like Bieber, she on my wood like a beaver, young nigga just be counting his dough, all of my niggas is ready to blow, I got that Burberry, look at my coat, you nigga be talking, I know that they hoes, Valley gon' run up and switch up the flow, I got the white, she gon' put it in the nose, nigga the pitch, she loving the pose, I'm gonna go in and flex on my foes, flex on my foes, you don't know about this shit, I got a limitless clip, yeah, this shit go rip, I got a motherfucker drip, drip from head to toes, niggas really know about this shit, Lil Valley, yeah, he go, they don't wanna see me win, they don't wanna see me shine, I'm on my grind, niggas really tryna waste my fucking time, I'm about this perk, I'm really tryna go and blow that iron, look at all my diamonds, they be shining like some open blinds, yeah, and niggas listen but they do not hear me, she just fucking with the cash, so get that hoe from near me, and I'm up on my own road and ain't no hoe can steer me, it's Warren's Valley, nigga, know we going,
Hey, you bald head hoes out there. Nah, I'm just playing. But stop listening to them other goofy ass stations and turn to southsideradio.live.
Had a long day. Let me lay you down and touch you in a special way. How about we even try a little role play? You be the baller and I'ma be the stripper, okay? Go ahead, bust out a band or two. Throw that cash at me, watch what this thing do. How you mesmerize with how this thing move? How your mind so going, you can't get a clue. And it's all while I still got clothes on. Let the ball, let me get your D-rolls on. Put that phone down, don't play Pokemon. Just come on over here and Pokemon. Get it? A little play on words. Get to the action. Start using verbs. Now I got you hooked on phonics. Booty moving in circles like Onyx. It's iconic.
When you see these ones, you the one to get it done. When I thought these tears in the room, get it back. All the friends, you see them bubs, look at them move and turn it up. Now hold up. If you see these bills, everything you see them wrong. I know you will. When you see these ones, you the one to get it done. When I thought these tears pop a room in the back. With all the friends, when you see them bubs, let them move and turn it up. Now hold up. If you see these bills, everything you say you want. I know you will. 1,000 ones in the air, shout it, twirling back that road. Watch it go, twirl and roll, make it vibrate up and down on that pole. Gotta make me beg for more. Shout it go, ain't no issue. 5,000 ones in the air, shout it, twirling back that road. Watch it go, twirl and roll, make it vibrate up and down on that pole. Gotta make me beg for more. Shout it go, let me be the show.
Slim thick with my cute ass. But money up front when you see me walk past. I wanna see hundreds first, then ones last. Then had a weed rolled up, cause a bitch need gas. Take me to the back so this thing can start moving. The green light on, money team ain't losing. You throw so much that your thumbs start bruising. The weed so good, Smokey got me cruising. I promise I don't kiss and tell. Took it from the shot to the ATL. And even though this ass can't sit in no cup, he can't keep his hands on my jigglypuff.
When you see these ones, you the one to get it done. When I thought these days in the room, get it back. All the friends, you see them dubs, look at them move and turn it up. Now hold up. If you see these bills, everything you say you want. I know you will. When you see these ones, you the one to get it done. When I thought these days pop a room in the back. With all the friends, when you see them dubs, let them move and turn it up. Now hold up. If you see these bills, everything you say you want. I know you will. 1,000 ones in the air, shout it, twirling back that Watch it go, twirl and roll, make it vibrate up and down on that pole. Gotta make me beg for more. Shawty go, oh, ain't no issue. 5,000 ones in the air, shawty's rolling that thing. Watch it go, twerk and roll, make it vibrate up and down on that pole. Gotta make me beg for more. Shawty go,
It's the Loafer Show. I'm your girl Pam G, and I still got Fatimah on the line. Miss True TV laugh track, you know. Hey, so she's discussing her story with her on how she went out to LA. My question is for you, like a lot of people say that, especially in Chicago, it's such a gritty city, and they say that you have to leave in order to make it. Do you feel that that's true in certain aspects, at least?
Now, I'm a real big stickler of not telling people what they should do, because I feel like everybody has their own personal journey.
Right.
But I will say that I've heard this from numerous of people, and I guess from my own experience, you tend to gain respect from your hometown when you leave and make it in another town. I don't know why that is. And that's really weird. Kind of a thing, even if you're somebody from LA. And you say you move to Chicago, and people mess with you more in Chicago. It's okay. Here's what I put this 2 and 2 with. You know how people say strangers support you faster than your friends?
Correct.
That's kind of the same concept of leaving the world that knows you and the world that you know and going somewhere else and making a name for yourself.
Yeah, because your people like, man, that nigga ain't gonna do nothing.
It's just something about strangers will give you more of an opportunity and a chance, and will hear you more versus the people that know you well.
You feel like they're more accepting, basically?
More accepting. They don't know who you are, so they don't have anything to judge you off of.
Correct.
Or to base it off of. So now you're just a free spirit here, and you're like, oh well, people are more open to hearing what you have to say because they have nothing to judge you by.
Oh, I definitely feel that.
That would be my perception, but I don't like saying, you should or shouldn't. Now, what I will say about LA, and that's anywhere in the world, this is the capital of entertainment. So if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, and people do respect New York and LA. So if you leave your small town of Ohio and you leave Iowa and you go to New York or you go to LA and you start making a name for yourself and you go back to your city, yes, they're going to respect you a lot more.
Okay.
But I've been told by people here in Los Angeles, they're like, oh, Chicago's a much better city for comedy. Why didn't you start there?
Oh, wow. Well, I guess.
I've heard that here too. And I'm like, okay. I mean, but my personal journey, like I said, I feel like I felt more comfortable being who I truly was away from people that already had a perception of who I was.
Okay.
It's just like when people say, sometimes your friends and family can put you in a box and they won't allow you to grow.
Oh, definitely.
Because people have a perception of who they think you are, and even if you grow and change, they're like, oh, well, this is what my perception of it is, and they don't allow you to.
Okay. Hey, I'm having a little technical difficulty at the moment. Fatimah, we'll be right back. Let me play this song real quick, and I'll be right back at you. southsideradio.live. It's the Loafer Show.
Let me talk my shit, I got them mad at me. My young niggas on the dumb shit, and I ain't playing with you. They say they'll blow this bitch up like Baghdad. They got them drones on every block, they stepping like a band. It's up, when you fucking with them more, you know it's up. In that bottom side where you know it's up. Everybody trying to go, you know it's up. It get wicked in my city, know it's haters when they see me, I give them a bad taste. I'm from a city where you see niggas dying every day. Niggas ain't waiting, fuck a 8, they told them blocks at 8. Ain't got no father figure, they low, they just want some cake. But I know why, you know why I was the same nigga. I tried to give you niggas life, but y'all ain't get the picture. But y'all like this rap, so I'ma speak this shit here to exist. Gonna get my youngsters out the trench when I get this meal ticket. I got some youngsters hollering, slatting, they won't wipe your nose. Them niggas stepping like a band with drums on every pole. It's hard to keep them niggas tame when that's all they know. I'm throwing forward, pushing hoes, you know how they go. I been there, let me talk my shit, I got them mad at me. My young niggas on the dumb shit, and I ain't playing with you. They say they'll blow this bitch up like Baghdad. They got them drums on every block, they stepping like a band. It's up, when you fucking with them, boy, you know it. Up, you know in that bottom side where you know it's up. Everybody trying to go, you know it. Up. They get wicked in my city, know it. Straight out them trenches, fucking hoes for some inches. Nigga think you got a meal ticket, you pull up in the building. If you're slanging any type of dope, your block gon' need extension. Nigga itch your pocket hurt, trying to get you for them digits. It's wicked in my city, no jobs, so they stealing. Got bitches selling pussy, trying to feed their little children. It's up, whatever they tell you, better take them serious. Them hoes selling their pussy like crack and making it kill. My block roll like a bowling ball from the heart to the soul. Whatever you got, we got a chip with price back with you, big dog. Nigga just talking in the kitchen, I make that dope crip walk. Southside head hunter, bitch, I been a big dog. The done, I been there. Let me talk my shit, I got them mad at me. My young niggas on the dumb shit, and I ain't playing with you. They say they'll blow this bitch up like Baghdad. They got them drums on every block, they stepping like a band. It's up, when you fucking with them, boy, you know it. Up, in that bottom side where you know it's up. Everybody trying to go, you know it. Up. And get wicked in my city, know it's up.
Live from Tweets. Now if you know my face, then I know you know my name. Drunken monkey be wildin' like orangutan. He make the people go bananas when he hits the stage. We throw chairs at the crowd when they complain. Now watch my monkey bars in the trees, the monkey swing. Back and forth like a diggerling. He's universal, he's not commercial. A lot of these rappers, they all need rehearsals. I'm what the people looking for, because we tired of these bubblegum metaphors. Niggas want that hot shit, not a cold sore. People don't want peace, they just want war. So I'ma give these motherfuckers what they asking for. Cause monkey see monkey do that uncut and raw. Banana clips with a kung fu grip. Regular gorilla, yo girl, banana split. Now if you know my face, then I know you know my name. Drunken monkey be wildin' like a orangutan. Let me see you go bananas and go insane. Let me see you show your ass like a orangutan. Just like a orangutan. Back and forth like a orangutan. Let me see you go bananas and go insane. Let me see you show your ass like a orangutan. We take over like Planet of Apes. My niggas on lead and your niggas ain't straight. We get the most love and you get the most hate. And when we in a place, all the women they shake. Into a fruit basket, it got to the grape. We can rubble in the jungle, rubble up in the cage. I'm on your girl bumper like a license plate. She want a heavyweight and not just a lightweight. You tryna rule shit while I dictate. And when I been through, nigga, you cannot take. And when I be spitting, niggas, they get raped. Anonymous as fuck when you try to debate. Then you see me in the streets, that's when you wanna be fake. And as I killing shorts, God throwing it late. Don't make them bamboos have to come to your place. You can run, you can hide, but you won't be safe. Now if you know my face, then I know you know my name. Drunken monkey be wildin' like a orangutan. Let me see you go bananas and go insane. Let me see you show your ass like a orangutan. Just like a orangutan. Back and forth like a orangutan. Let me see you go bananas and go insane. Let me see you show your ass like a orangutan. Let the monkeys out. 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 Yeah, you are now in tune to Tweet Central, and I'm Chicago Wild, the infamous, the man, the myth, the legend, Drunken Monkey,
It ain't safe no more. Beware my violence and outbreak. Thou should not fear any man. And if you in my way, you get trampled on. I'm tired of playing with y'all lollipops, man. You tootsie roll pop litty candy ass niggas. I quit my job just for y'all. Somebody needs to clean this shit up. The world need a superhero. And then we've been chosen. Bow down.
What do you think about this? You gonna take this vaccine they trying to give us?
You know, I haven't taken a vaccine in years, since probably being in like grammar school. But as an actor and doing television, I feel like we might get forced. So I don't want to say yay or nay. Okay. Because I do still work in television, and I know how strict they have been with us as far as how many times we've had to test. I've tested a little over 4 times so far. Okay. Just to, you know, do shows and be a part of comedy shows. And if you want to still work in entertainment, they need to make sure that you don't have it. So I have a feeling that being a part of the union like SAG-AFTRA, they're going to probably have some kind of shit where we're going to have to get a vaccine.
Okay, definitely. I don't know about myself. I don't like.
I don't
like putting anything foreign in my
recommending. Right? Yeah. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, it's gonna be a chip."
Oh no! Hey, that's some conspiracy theories. But you never know. I mean, it's
with
wicked
the way
hands,
this year went.
You know, I'm ready to get to 2021 already. Personally,
you know what? I'm not in a rush. Let me tell you why. Because I said that same mess back in 2019. I'm ready to get to 2020, and we got here, and I'm like, "Ooh, Lord." Because to be honest with you, I'm not mad at the fact that we all have been sent home, because it has changed a lot as far as how I view business now. Right. You know, you don't have to be everywhere. You can Zoom stuff. You know, you can work remotely. You know, I appreciate all that. The only thing that I will say for us entertainers, it has slowed money down.
And just the interaction, like I find that if I don't have a daily interaction with someone, it's kind of like a buzzkill. Like I like to be around people.
True. I mean, being in a comedy where we're still around each other quite a bit, because we're entertaining a lot. Like, so we're all getting tested and just keeping 6 feet and trying to do this quick show and wiping off the mic and, you know, all that shit. But it's money wise, even having the idea of a plan for a tour, not happening. You know, getting out and being able to have people to actually want to fly you in and pay you, not happening. Because most clubs right now are like tentatively like, well, are we going to stay open? Do we have the money? Do we have the funds? You know, right now at the Comedy Store, it's free to get in. Wow. They're not paying no comics. It's just free entertainment. It's like a give or take. You want to work on material? You want to work on material? Here you go. You want to be around people? Here you go. But it's all for the free piece. Oh, so really setting goals of what you want out of the year as an entertainer is tricky. Even with like auditioning, most of us are like, oh, I got a pilot, or, you know, I'm on this show. Well, you don't know when that show was shooting.
Yeah, that's a lot of that going on. So let's talk about this Moesha series you came out with. Yeah, man, you've been doing this for a while. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite, I can't think of the dude's name, but he out on the pair with the sweatshirt, your little homie that be on the block. Oh my goodness.
Charles, Corner Store Charles.
Yes, that's my guy right there. That's
Corner Store Charles.
Hey, I feel like that is definitely my man I see in the gas station every time I pull up.
Listen, he is a real character that I know from Chicago. I grew up on 147 in Loomis, and there was this corner store called The Huddle. I'm not sure if it's still there.
The Huddle, something like that.
And he used to hang out in front of there when we was kids. You know, you go to the candy store, and I remember him always being out there. Like, you know, when I would go in there with my mom, when my mom wanted to get her like wine after work, he would try to holler at my mom. And as I grew up, you know, he would start hollering at me and my friends, but he was always out there. He was never not out there, and he always had the same jacket. And I started that character quite a bit a while back too, but I was always really good at picking up people's mannerisms. So
hey, you definitely nailed that down, man.
Once I nailed that character, I kept doing him. I've been actually doing him probably since 2017. Okay. So it's probably been about a little over 3 years or more. And I'm locked in now. People really love that character. It's become hella popular. Damn, they're more popular than Moesha now. But I mean, I be out, people be like, oh my God, you're so pretty. How do you dress up as Corner Store Charles? I'm like, bruh, like I bought hella wave caps, and I stole that ugly ass jacket from one of my exes. And yeah, man, it's hard sometimes when I'm filming because, you know, you got to stay in the male mannerisms. So there's a few times when I get takes and I'm like, you moving like a girl. You got to move like, you know, and do it over.
Up, beefing up.
Talk
with your chest, you know?
But that character ended up being such a gem for me this year. I didn't get it, but I had the opportunity to audition for SNL because of that character this year.
Oh, that's what's up. Look at you with the big thing.
Yeah, man. Much blessings. The new young lady on, SNL, Punky Johnson. She's a colleague of mine. I don't know her well, but we've known each other in the comedy community. She ended up getting it, which is also great for me because I'm like, wow, people that are really close to me in the industry are booking things. So I know I'm getting a step closer.
Yes. You're definitely on the right path. You came a long way from eating fries and steak sauce, baby girl.
And Moesha, man, I was a big fan of that show growing up. And then when I started braiding my hair, when everybody got back on box braids again, everywhere I went, everybody was like, oh, you look like Brandy. Oh, you look like Brandy. And so I had one single year where I was, you know, going on the Tinder dates or whatever. And that is where that inspiration came from.
Oh,
terrible dates. Okay. I kept going on dates where I'd be like, I don't know why my imagination at the time on the dates, I kept on getting in Ubers after shitty dates and being like, Dear Diary. and when I started coming up with those chronicles, I don't know if it was a friend of mine or something. Somebody was like, do you remember when Brandy used to do that? So we went searching for the audio music. And my first one, I think it was in like 2016. Which was about a guy, and I found that, and then it became a thing. And that actually, people don't know, that's my claim to Instagram fame. That's where I got most of my followers was from Moesha.
Regular chicks, they got more. Regular chicks, they got more. Regular chicks, they got more. Regular chicks, they got more.
Ready for a change, yeah, I need some spice in my life. Shorty thick like pound cake, can I get a slice? With a body like that, you might have to be my wife. I'm a real man, these other dudes is mice. Yeah, back it up, bet I catch that thing like Christ. I'm just that nice, baby, you in good hands. I'm trying to hit it from the back, yeah, that's the game plan. I'm realer than a heart attack, I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying, I'm your biggest fan. Like Trick did it, baby girl, I don't know them. Who can do it like me, go hard like me? Let's face it, boo, these dudes just not me.
The fellas know just what I'm talking about. I hate to say it, but yo, it ain't a doubt. And every time I'm standing out in the crowd, the regular chicks, they got more ass than a mile. Regular chicks, they got more. 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 Regular chicks, they got more.
Cute face, small waist plus booty too. No booty do, shorty with that booty do. So what you gotta do at home? Here Rudy Poo. She a hottie, man, I chew that body like some juicy fruit. Yeah, I'm super freaky, shorty say she like it kinky. She get the bouncing on that thing like her name was Pinky. Or maybe Cherokee, backseat of my Cherokee. 10 minutes in and I'm gonna make her wanna marry me. Shorty say she love a G, I guess she see the thug in me. You could call me Titty Boy, I love a pair of double D's. Money in a duffel bag, yeah, I'm in that player circle. Catch me at the strip club, throwing ones, burning purple.
The fellas know just what I'm talking about. I hate to say it, but yo, it ain't a doubt. And every time I'm standing out in the crowd, the regular chicks, they got more ass than a mile. Regular chicks, they got more. 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 Regular chicks, they got more.
Feeling good late night at the Gentleman's Club. All the ladies popping that thing and they showing me love. Hennessy in the cup and I'm feeling the buzz. My name popping in these streets, I know y'all hearing the buzz. If she shaking like she love me, then I'm tipping the dubs. And I'm sliding them dubs, yeah, I'm living it up. Skills like a carpenter, I put it down like a rug. I'm in your ear like a bug, trying to see what's up.
Yeah, I can get it wet if you can get it up. Now I gotta laughing like, boy, you so nuts. More ass than a model chick. Oh, what the fuck? Now I'm acting like Pop. Yeah, I'm trying to toss it up.
The fellas know just what I'm talking about. I hate to say it, but yo, it ain't a doubt. And every time I'm standing out in the crowd, the regular chicks, they got more ass than the model. Regular chicks, they got more. Regular chicks, they got more. Regular chicks, they got more.
No disrespect to the models, but I was at the club and I seen the chick with a booty so big, I was like, man, girl, what you feeding that thing? Real talk, man. Get at me.
Oh, hey, when is this? When will I be able to see this stand up you just shot? Tell us about this.
Oh my God, you guys, so excited. You can always find me on YouTube. You can see my laugh mob laugh tracks on True TV. I mean, I did Revolt TV early of last year. That's there. But this year, I decided, probably at the top of, or the end of 2019, I told myself I didn't want to wait. Cause a lot of people wait for Netflix to call you or for Comedy Central to call you. Okay. But as you guys already know, if you don't, I have a web series called The Life and Times of Samantha Jane. And that was something that was my first project of producing and investing and doing it on my own. And after doing that, I learned a lot. And so I said, hey, you're going to shoot your half hour on your own budget. You're going to find your own venue because you have met enough people to where quarantine taught me, make yourself a brand. So I was like, I'm going to invest in my own half hour and I'm going to sell it to networks on my own so I could start being like a brand. So I started my own production company called She Pretty Funny.
She Pretty Funny. Okay, that's what's up.
And coming from a family of entertainment, I have been blessed to have a brother who's a producer and a younger cousin who also lives here in LA, and he's a director, and they helped me put it together. I told them what I wanted to do. I told them my goals. And when quarantine hit, I didn't think that I was going to be able to do it. I was really depressed about it because I was like, that was my goal of this year. And with COVID hitting, it was like, okay, how do you get a venue? Like, people need to be tested. Then I told my brother about it and he was like, we can make this happen. You know, so him and my cousin knew where to get cameras from, knew where to get all the audios and stuff. And I had made great friends with people from True TV, which I'm still friends with to today. One of the producers from True TV has a beautiful home here in Los Angeles in Silver Lake, and he offered his space to me because he believes in me, and his only rule was to make sure that everybody was tested. And through the grace of God, every last one of my Instagram followers came to this, and they tested, honey. We were only able to have 20 guests per show, but I was blessed enough to sell out 2 shows.
Okay.
With all tested guests. So I felt like a boss to do that. And we shot it.
Definitely
we shot it. And I worked my little black ass off. Excuse me. I don't know if I can say all that, but I did.
Say
and it was
you feel.
Really hard. When I say it was hard, because as comedians, when we're working on new material, you either are consistently booking shows where you can work on that material, or there's stages for you to go and work out. There wasn't any of that during COVID, so I had to find ways. And luckily, living in Los Angeles, there was a lot of comedians that put on park shows where, you know, it was outside, or, you know, people,
like I said, the comedy doing in Chicago for a little while. Everything turned to outside, but it's cold now, so it's like, what to do now?
That's what we have the luxury for. It's cold, but it's not real cold, so we can still pull it off. But I worked my butt off for probably about 3-4 months. I had started the material early in the year, but then I worked 3-4 months to finish it, and I did something different this time. I'm not the one that usually asks for help. I'm a very independent woman, but I reached out to some of my friends that are great comedians like Billy Sorrells, BT Kingsley, Teddy Ray, people you guys probably know from All Deaf Digital to Comedy Central. I was doing Zoom calls with them and running my material with them, and they were giving me pointers to punch it up. And you know, Jamar Neighbors from the roast would come watch me and, you know, give me critiques, because it was hard during quarantine. You didn't have real audience. You just had comedians, you know, trying to work on stuff. So I had to get people that I knew that were successful and people that I knew that I could trust to make sure the material was top notch. So I did that, and I have great management, and, you know, they were there to help me put this all together. We made sure that all our guests were tested. And October 24th, we made it happen, and it's done now. We're in the process of editing, and I'm going to make a live version of this, and we're not sure what network it's going to go to. And I'm also going to make an album.
Hey, you make sure
that
keep me in tune with that, because I definitely want to see your half hour special.
It's a really cool story about, you know, a coming of age, of learning about yourself during quarantine, from politics to being in your 30s to what life is like from the south side of Chicago. We talked about everything. I'm talking about myself in third person, but I talked about everything. And so I'm excited. I've been listening to my audio so I can get my album together, and I'm hoping to get that all out by, you know, the beginning of the new year.
So is the album going to also be 30 minutes?
We don't know yet, because albums, you know, it can, you know, the first half of it is like an intro. Right now I'm going through the album and naming the joke titles like you would do like an album. So
okay, wait, hey, just keep me in tune, because you know I always like to spice it up and give people something different to listen to besides my voice and music. So
yeah, man. So I'm hoping to get that out the first of the year. Like we're working real hard to get an editor before I leave town for Christmas, so we can start locking that down. And I'm excited. I can't honestly, girl, I can't even believe half the stuff that I've accomplished thus far during this pandemic.
Okay.
Like it's
amazeballs, huh? Hey.
I mean, yeah, you sometimes you underestimate yourself, like you said, and you find that when you're pressed against a wall, when your back is against the wall and it looks like there's nothing else you can do, that is the time when you find out what the right thing to do is.
Hey, I just, when my back against the wall, I just know I'm gonna fight. Whichever way I'm gonna go with it.
I hear that. So my back was against the wall, and I say that because I'm not a Dave Chappelle. You know, okay. I'm not, you know, a Chris Tucker or a Chris D'Elia or any of these people, or Whitney Cummings. I knew that 2019 was a big year for me as far as being able to travel, people slowly starting to figure out who I was. And I knew it was up to me to continue that. And I didn't want quarantine to stop the progress that I felt like I was gaining. And I was like, and the only way that I can continue to make the Fatimah Taliah legacy continue to grow, where I'm a household name, I'm going to have to put out my own stuff, because we're in COVID.
Right. Oh, Fatimah, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any kind of platform, and it's all Fatimah Taliah. That's Fatimah with a H, Taliah.
Thank you for spelling that, because you know some of us can't spell too good, even if you try to sound it out.
A lot of people look for it and they don't put an H on the Fatimah, so I let you guys know that. But I'm everywhere, y'all, hustling all the time. I say it best, like swag like mouth sauce, hustle like Southside.
Hey, Southside. Hey, man, baby girl, it's been a pleasure, Fatimah. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. I'm proud of you too, love, and I miss y'all. In Chicago, and I'm so proud of everybody. I can't believe that we still hustling.
Man, we still here, baby. We ain't going nowhere. All of us, you know, all of us. Actually, Manny told me to tell you how before he left up out of here this morning. But
I tell him I love him.
Man,
and I'm like,
when you
I'm
come
just
to
proud
the
of
Shy,
everyone.
When we open back up and you come to the Shy, you make sure you get a date up here, so we can all come through and show some love. Because
you know what's funny? I came to Chicago earlier this year in February during All-Star Weekend. I was booked for some shows out there, and I did the Factory. And it was funny because, you know, people know, and Ron came and he was like, you know, I know you were being funny, but that was his first time actually seeing me on stage. And he was like, holy shit, dude, I didn't think it was going to be like that. So I would love for y'all to come, man. Chicago, the love was
shout
unbelievable.
Shout out to Ignit, a.k.a. Ron. I'm be at your head too in a second, Ignit. Don't worry about it. You are on my long list of people to get to. You understand? Hey, but like I said, I'm so proud of you. Next time you in the Shy, make sure you hit me up. I would definitely come through. I'll bring the whole Southside Radio clan with me. We'll make sure we'll buy our tickets. You know what I'm saying? We will support.
Yes, I can't wait till things to open back up.
Man, I can't wait either. Until the next time, this is southsideradio.live. Here goes some more music for you. The Low for Show. WSSR.
New Music Wednesdays. The Low for
At a moment's Now I'm touching you, caressing your body. I'm about to take it down, sweating and dripping. Now it's all on your lips. Don't run from the water. Go ahead, take a dig. Relax and roll around. Hold up, 'cause what you gonna do? With all this attention, all these angels, tell me you can't be in your position. Can't deny how you feel right now. Can't deny how I'm feeling right now. We gonna bring it back. Get it down one time, baby, make it clap. Like I'm off to a flame. The vibe we have is insane. Good brain is crazy. Go ahead, spin down, you nasty. Why you have to get me like that? Now I gotta get you back, get you back, get you back. Just relax and roll around. Hold on, 'cause I'm what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Oh, what you gonna do? All this attention, all of these angels, what you gonna do?
New Music Wednesdays on the Low for Show. southsideradio.live, WSSR. It's your girl Pam G. Salute. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another show. Y'all make sure y'all go right on over to the YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification so y'all can stay in the know with what's going on with southsideradio.live. In the meantime, between time, you can also follow your girl on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, all at The Low for Show, Pam G. You understand? Until the next time, I want to thank Fatimah and Manise with the new music and with the interview. Y'all check this girl out, man. She's pretty funny. You understand? southsideradio.live. Next week, y'all.